Alright, howdy folks. Here we are again with another, actually the first of many, probably, Photoshop tutorials. So, we'll go ahead and open up the program. Whenever starting off a project, you always got to think about what the application is. Is it going to be something that's displayed on a website or on a phone or off of any screen, a TV? Or is it going to be something that's print media? That's one of the first things you have to think about as far as this or that when it comes to Photoshop. And I'll explain why. So we go ahead and we're going to go ahead and make a new, let everything load. Alright, we're going to go up here to File next to the Photoshop. If you're on a Mac, you'll see your Apple icon, then Photoshop, and then the word File. Click on that. And then if you go ahead and create a new, or you can see you can hit the Apple button or Command N. It doesn't have to be capitalized, just Command and the letter N on the keypad will create a new composition. We will name this Project 1. We're going to do a size. Let's say we want to do a flyer. Let's go ahead and just choose under the presets US paper. Letter size, they also have legal. Tabloid. Tabloid's going to be your 11 by 17 inches, your large poster. But since we're just going to do a flyer, we'll do the letter size, 8.5 by 11. Resolution, I like to keep it at 300 pixels per inch. Color mode, 8-bit's okay, and CMYK because we are going to be printing this out. Say if you wanted to work with something that was going to be projected on TV or on the web, you want to select here RGB color. This is going to give you your best outputs for anything that has a backlit color projection. Otherwise, if it's printing, you want CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, which is the yellow, the pinkish, the yellow, and the black colors that are combined to create all the printed colors on your page. We will go ahead and press OK. All that looks good. Alright, here is our sheet of paper. If we go down to the bottom corner, we can go ahead and pull that out a little bit, and now you can see your margins, your exact edges of that piece of paper. Alright, here's the first trick of the day. We're going to come over here to where it says background. Usually it's in the lower right corner under your layers adjustment panel. Double click on that and you'll see this new layer come up. Name it layer 0. You just hit OK. And now you can see background got changed to layer 0. This is really important when you're trying to apply filters. Sometimes if you want to, let's put a pattern on this, double click on that layer 0. And we are going to do a pattern overlay. Click that. That would not have happened if you had it in the background layer because it's locked initially. Ooh, that's nice. Get some aloe plants going, some action. Yeah, that's nice. Let's try that. Let's bring that up a little bigger. A little too big. You just scale this front and back. I'm kind of liking that. You can see it's 180 times the original size of that pattern that we are overlaying, but that looks really nice. Don't have to move it or scrunch it. If you wanted to, first I'm going to say OK to save it. If we wanted to, you can go ahead and click all the way over here on your layers panel down to pattern overlay, double click, and if you wanted to shift it around, you can just click and drag that image however you want it, and as you can see, it will repeat the image up, down. You know, you might be going for an effect like that, a header and then a body type image or something to break the eye. You know, that could work, but I'm going to go ahead and just cancel that out. Alright, we're back to where we were at. Let's go ahead and make our first new type layer. Go ahead down here to your layers in the lower right hand corner. Go ahead and click this little guy right here. It says create new layer. You can also create a new layer by going up here to your layer option where it says Photoshop, File, Edit, Image, Layer, New. You can do a new layer just like that. And we're going to name this text. Okay. I'm going ahead of myself. I went ahead and clicked on this little T on the left hand side on your control panel. Your control panel may look a little different, but where you see the cursor, the rectangle marquee selector, polygon, magic wand, crop filter, selector, click on that little T wherever you see that collection of little icons. Right now I have it set to the horizontal type tool, which is alright. White is going to be our color of text. To choose the color of the text that we want to apply here, we go ahead and scroll all the way down to where all those little icons are, down to these two colors. This white right here, that shows your foreground color. I'll explain this later. And your background color is the square that's being covered up by the foreground color, your background color. For your text, we want to select your foreground color. So, double click there. White, that looks alright. You can change it to orange. This is where your new color is displaying. If you see that little exclamation point, it might not print out exactly the way you want it. But you see that's safe now. But you get little regions where that might not look so great, but that's going to display pretty closely. Alright, we will go ahead and select white, which is always in the upper left hand corner. Click OK. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click that T, put it right there, click anywhere you want your text to begin. Let's see, what should we write? Free classes starting, let's say September 1st. 3 exclamation points because I am excited about that. Alright, now you might be thinking, that is way too small. I would agree with you. There's 2 ways you can go about it. Right once you click on here, I'm just erasing it for demonstration purposes. Come to the top of the screen, and where it says 8.77 here points, you can expand it up. Let's go ahead and try 60. You'll see that line got bigger. That's going to give you an idea of how tall your font is, your text. Now we'll say free classes. I'm gonna hold off on the exclamation points. Free classes. We're gonna say that's alright. We're gonna, once we get it, you can also click not on the text, but if you click off the text, see how the cursor near the E to select the E? Once you click down here, it's not that line anymore for the type tool. It's actually a little arrow with 4-way arrows. Once you have your cursor looking like the arrow with the 4-way arrows, you can click, press it down, and move it around freely to wherever you want it to show up. Let's put right here. Don't worry, that E is not black. I just had it selected. You can unselect things or select them. Let's say we want free a little bit bigger. Let's click right here. We're going to click on that line and drag it. And now I'm unclicking. And now we have the word free selected. We go back up here to our text size tool. And you see the number stops at 72 for us. I made it a little better, but let's say we want it really, really, really projecting. How do we get it bigger? Well, the trick is you go up here where it says 72 PTs, that's points or pixels. You go ahead and with the left arrow on your keypad, on your keyboard, go ahead and take that 72, get right there between the space and the 72. Keep the PTs or sometimes it can give you an error. We're going to hit delete, delete, and let's make it 111. Oh, there, now that's big. That's right. But now classes is being cut off. So what we have to do is we have to go ahead and click offside. Remember, we're not clicking here. That's just going to select more things. We want to click and watch our cursor change to that arrow. There we go. Once we get it right where we want it, we hit the little check button, and this is going to lock everything. Perfect. Now, you see on our layers channel, we have text and layer 0. Layer 0, if I hit the punch the little eye out, will make that layer disappear and invisible. Click it back and it comes back. This helps when you have lots of layers and you're trying to work on a specific layer. We're going to do the same with text. Punch out the eye. Now it's just the background and text. So now we know that this layer is actually that text up there. Let's say we want to have it going diagonally down this piece of aloe right here. How do we rotate our text? First, we're going to click this tool, which is our move tool. You can also hit V on your keyboard, the letter V. I did that, and now you see I'm over the text, but it stays the move tool, the arrow with the 4-way arrows. We go ahead and go up to Edit and Transform. It's going to be about halfway down that menu, and we go ahead and move our mouse over the transform. We go ahead and choose rotate, scale, rotate, skew, warp. We'll get into all those later, but we're going to rotate just to show you. You can play around with those too on your own, see what they do. You might have some really neat outputs there. All right, this will help us rotate. If you're a more visual learner and think of this box around your text as your window, and you want to tilt the window up and down from the sides like you have your hands, and you're like, all right, let's bring it up here, there. All you have to do is go to either side, the right or the left, and click and keep on clicking, holding it down. While still holding it down, it will move for you. And then I'm still have the mouse depressed or the click pad depressed. I'm still pressing it down. I haven't let go of it, but I'm inching up with my finger on the mouse pad to make it look like it's close to that piece of aloe down there. Once I have it where I want it, I let go of the clicker on the mouse pad. That looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and click this check, confirm transform, or you can hit return on your keyboard. Now we already have our move tool. Once again, just to show you, you can hit V, the letter V on your keyboard, and it will make the move tool happen. You click on the text area box, which has grown, as you can see from our rotating it. And we go ahead and put it right there where we want it. Now that's pretty cool. But it's kind of blending in over here a little too much. How do we make this text, give it a little three-dimensional flair to it? Well, that's easy. You just go ahead, go over to your text layer on your layers panel, double click, and that first option under your styles is a drop shadow. You click that. Oh, that looks pretty neat. Do you see how it added a little bit of a blur around that? Now all of these things that you see here are actually have nothing to do with drop shadow or any of the effects that I applied. To actually edit the drop shadow, you have to click on the text of your styles until it's highlighted in the blue. See, it's checked on and highlighted by clicking on it. You can go ahead and change the distance. Right now it's set 17 pixels away from the actual text you have. Click on that with your mouse pad or your keyboard and drag it with your finger, and you will see, wow, that's really looks like the light is really like it's floating off the page. That's pretty cool. Actually, I kind of like that. Let's do that. And then you unclick or let go your mouse whenever it looks good over here in your preview window. Next, we look at the angle. This circle right here with the little line, it says 120 degrees. Go ahead and click right on the top, like 12 o'clock. You see, now it looks like the light's coming from 12 o'clock. If we wanted the shadow directly this way, directly to our left, we would choose about 3 o'clock, which would actually be our 0 degree angle point. I'm just going to go ahead and click this around here so you get an idea of what that looks like. I'm actually kind of liking, let's see, where was that? Somewhere right around here. Free classes. Well, we'll just do it like, that's kind of neat. Okay. Once we get that where we want it, we click OK. And now we have our apply drop shadow on our text layer. If we go ahead and hit the little eyeball next to the text layer, the whole thing goes away. Click it again. Oh, there it is. Effects takes out all the effects. If you had multiple effects, you can hit the little eye on drop shadow and that would go. For example, we're going to add one more effect. Double click on the word effects. Let's go ahead and give it a gradient overlay, which we will do right here. Click the box, click on gradient overlay, and these are our presets. That kind of looks bad, but let's try something bright. You can create your own gradients too. You'll find out how to do that later on in these lessons. You know what? That's not really looking great, so I'm just going to cancel. And just apply that. Let's say, I liked it better when it was white. It was a lot easier to read. You don't have to go edit, undo, 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 you know, Command Z all over. Easy way to do that is just come over here to your text layer and just go ahead and punch out the eye on the gradient overlay. Oh, perfect. If you want to get really clean with it, you can take the gradient overlay and drag it, the FX, right into this bottom corner, this trash can, and now the effect is gone. Voila, nice and clean. Alright, now you're thinking probably time to save it. What if the power goes out? What if my battery goes awry? Good thinking. We're going to do that now. Go up to File, and we're going to scroll down here under the File menu and click Save. You can also hit Command S on your keyboard. And this is the window that will come up. We have it saved out as Project 1 from earlier. PSD, that means it's in a Photoshop format. It will save all your layers and all your settings just the way you see it in Photoshop. I like to keep all of my layered projects in a PSD until I'm absolutely done. Then I'll push out a JPEG, a TIFF, PNG if I need transparency, or PDF for print purposes. But right now we're going to save it as PSD. Where do we want to save it? Documents is a good option That's usually your default option. Another way to do it is save it to your desktop. And that's a real easy way to um, get your project together. So I'm going to go ahead and save it to the desktop. I like that. We will go ahead and click save. We don't want to save it as a copy because we want the layers. Layers is checked. Perfect. And we hit save. Alright, maximize compatibility. I just always click OK. It always seems to work out for me. Alright, now if I click off of Photoshop altogether onto the desktop background, you can see right there's our file. Project 1, PSD. Now I'm going to go ahead and select back into, you don't have to always click down to Photoshop to open it up. That's one way. From your desktop, you can also just click anywhere on your Photoshop document or on the window to get you back into Photoshop. I'm going to go ahead and quit Photoshop, or you can do Command Q to shut it down. Always shut down after making any saves or presets. You'll learn why later in further tutorials. Now let's say we want to open that right back up again. We're going to go ahead and do that. Make sure it's all there the way we saved it. Oh yes, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Okay. So now we want to add an image onto our folder. What we're going to do is File. We're going to browse some things. You can browse in Bridge, but I just like opening from a file. We're going to take something from my desktop. Let's take this Grand Haven agate artwork that I'm working on. Alright. Here's a little Photoshop piece that I did. I took a picture. I actually have this stone, and I took a photograph of the lighthouse in Grand Haven State Park when it was winter. Added some Photoshop filters to make it look like paint. I'm going to actually print this out, cut it out with an X-Acto blade, and put it on this actual rock and cover it with Mod Podge to clear coat it, and probably get a little piece of driftwood, zip it with the saw so this stands right up in it, and probably go Woodburn, Grand Haven Lighthouse Winter, you know, something nice on that piece of driftwood for a display, for its own stand. But let's just say we're gonna do this for our class. I know it has nothing to do with the aloe or the things that we're doing, but that's where your design and creativity comes in. You'll know what fits with what images you want, what kind of subject matter. We are going to go ahead, I like to click on this little tab. If you can see, if you click on this other tab, Project 1, oh, there it is. There's our project. You can come back down to the, and click and drag that little bottom corner triangle. See our edges. Oh, and there's the Grand Haven agate art project. How are we going to get that over here? Now, I mean, we opened it up, we found the file or the folder, if you have it saved on your phone or wherever. We found where the picture is to import it right here. Now, how are we going to get that over there? I like to click and drag. See how that popped into a new window? Perfect. So now you can see, if you want that back into your tabs, you can always click and drag until it turns blue, and now you got your tabs. But I'm going to pull that out again by clicking that tab, pulling, and then unclicking with the mouse. How do we select this all? I do Command A. Alright, that was kind of a flyby. To select all, you can also go to Select All. As you can see, it's Command A on your keyboard. And then we want to copy this, edit, go File, Edit, and then Copy, or Command C. If you wanted to cut it, you could do Command X, but let's just do Command C for copy. Copy that. We just click anywhere over here. You could have clicked here, you could click there, or there. it would have done the same thing. Now we're going to paste it. We're going to go File, Edit, scroll down to Paste under your Edit option menu, and there it is. It's a little small though. We need to scale that up. So we're going to go ahead and hit V or click our fancy little move tool. Yay, now we can move that image which is selected here in our layers panel. If I selected this and tried moving, if I had the text layer accidentally selected and tried moving that picture, uh-oh, what happened there? Now it's not moving the picture at all, but it's moving the text. That's an easy fix. If you want to undo that, you go Edit, Undo, or Command Z. It puts it right back to where it was. I had it pretty close there. Wow. Alright, we want to always select the layer. This layer 1 is our image. Now with our move tool that's moving. But how am I going to remember layer 1 is the agate, that photo? Go over here to layer 1 and over the text, click twice with your mouse or on your keypad. Layer 1 will become highlighted and you'll see a box around it. You can hit delete and we'll call this Photo Lighthouse. Put a little hyphen in there just easier to read. Photo Lighthouse. Now we go ahead and click on any other layer next to it and back up. Click on Photo Lighthouse. There's our image. Let's scale it up by getting it approximately where we want to, and I'm going to take the lower right hand corner and drag it out to as big as I want it. We go up to Edit, Transform again, and Scale instead of Rotate. Scale's going to make it bigger or smaller. Oh no, it's getting squishy. How do you make sure the picture stays the same constraints? You hit the Shift button on your keyboard while you have it clicked down, and you scale it in and out. Now you see it stays the same shapes. It doesn't get all wobbly and warped out. Shift, it can be warped out like this. You hit Shift and it just puts it right into the correct shape. That looks good. Don't let go of Shift, otherwise you might end up with something like that. Always hold Shift, keep Shift on, you unclick it, and then you let go of Shift. That looks good, so I'm going to click the little check button. Alright, oh no, class is being covered up by the photograph. I really need that to be seen, the text. Easy fix, we go over here to text, click on that, and you see the little finger, your cursor's a little finger pointed up now, right hand. You click on this part that's not any words, just kind of this area here or there, but take your text layer, click, and you drag until you see that line at the top in the fist. Now see, oh look at that, you let go. You can move text all the way down to the bottom of layer 0. You would not have been able to do that if you kept it a background layer, but we did rename it. I'm just having fun moving it into different places. That's where it was before. We need it one layer up. Photo Lighthouse is on top, so this is our top layer, middle layer, bottom layer. Text has to be on the top layer, so we'll go ahead and click until it's at the top there. Looks good, I can see it now. Alrighty folks, we will go ahead and leave it there for today. If you like this, please subscribe, and hopefully you'll share whatever you've created with a link on this video. Or if not, hopefully this has inspired your creativity to want to follow these instructions and learn Photoshop in a more professional manner. Next tutorial we'll go over the folder option, where we can go ahead and take multiple items, select them and put them in the group folders, rename it text and photo, and that way you can manipulate the entire group of things, move them together. And then you can create little layers, little pockets that you move here, there, there. And really get into Photoshop. Hope this has been fun. See y'all next time. Bye for now.